So once you have data in your project and it's elevated, and this data can be CAD polylines, can be line strings, can be points, and other data that has 3D information, you can turn it into a triangulated surface. So in most cases, you see here we have contours and other 3D elements that make up this pond. So we want to convert those and use those to build a surface. So to do the create surface command, it's on the surfaces tab. You're going to go to the first icon called create surface. You're going to give it a name, so maybe we call this, we could call this pond or finished ground. We can choose what type of surface it is, so whether it's a mass earthwork prep, original, basically kind of what state the surface is in. So we know that this is a design surface. Their design contours, that's what we're going to select. You can also set a color to it, which will help in the viewing of the surface. So we're going to go ahead and set it to a green. You can put a date on when it was measured or created, and even a time. And this gets into more when you're doing surface analysis of as building or earth moving or analyzing the work progress on a site. And then from here you're going to select a member. So a member is any 3D element that can be used in that surface. So if you look here, we can manually select them, or just go to the options and do a select all or invert or by layer. In this case we want to use by layer because we don't want to use everything. We just want to use the contours. Now you'll notice in this case there's no layers supplied. It's because my focus is set on a different view. You want to make sure your focus is set on the plan view, and then you'll see the layers will display. So if I was in 3D view is good, but surface slicer, you'll see if that's the view that you were in last, then it's not going to display the layers. So we're going to click over here to make sure that we're in plan view, and we can pick the layers either by picking from the layer list here, or simply by picking from the drawing. So I'm going to pick on this one, and I'm going to pick, we'll pick this layer, and we'll pick this layer. Oop, let's go back over here. Sorry, we don't want 0. We want to pick everything on that layer and everything on that layer. So I just had to set my focus over here into the select by layer. And maybe we can select, no, we don't need to select this one because it looks like they're changed, but we're just going to use the contours in this case. We can come back and supplement it with break lines and other data, and even do some surface edits, and we'll talk about those in future videos. But just to create the surface, you're just selecting the elements that you want. In this case, selecting by layer, and we're going to click apply, and you'll see that now that creates a triangulated surface. And in your surface viewer, your surface slicer, if we turn on that surface, you can see now we have a surface of the pond that is looking at a cross section through this area. But that is the triangulated surface. You'll see that there's some flags and some other data that's being used outside of the surface. So we can add or remove surface members to a surface, and again we'll take a look at that in the surface add or remove surface members video down below.